Okay, today I'm going to show you how to make an animated lines inside Keynote. So you can get this kind of effect and you can animate underlining of text, which is actually a lot harder than you might think. There's no builds that will do that for you in the build inspector. Right, so let's go to New from Theme Chooser and we'll choose a new blank theme. And the first thing we're going to do is tap the background, Command A to highlight everything, press delete, and we'll create some lines that we're going to draw. So go to the shapes menu, select one line here, grab one end, hold down the shift key, and we'll just move this into position. So by holding down the shift key, it will maintain the 90-degree angle. Then we're going to add an endpoint, just to show you how that's done. So select the line, go to the graphic inspector here, and then on the endpoints, we'll just make a triangle shape here. Right, let's copy that line, hold down the Option key, and drag down. Now we're going to make this 180-degree angle, hold down the Shift key. We'll move the line into position. Again, hold down the Shift key. And you can also use your arrow keys on your keyboard to position this so it's exactly where we need it. Now, to create the animation here, it's actually quite simple once you figure it out. So hold down the Option key and copy this line again. Right, with the line that we've just created, go to the graphic inspector again, make sure it's selected, increase the pixel width to about 8, and then move it back so it's covering the original line. Now, if you press Command, Shift, and the comma key, which is the kind of the left triangular arrow, we can decrease the size of our slide. Go back to the graphic inspector, go to the build inspector. Now beneath action, choose a move effect. We're going to move this new white line all the way out of the frame. The last thing we're going to do, let's zoom back in, Command Shift and the full stop key, is we're actually going to change the color of this line. So we'll go back to the build inspector, select the color, and we'll make it black. So now when we play full screen, you tap once and the line grows. Let's do the same for the next line. Hold down the Option key, we'll just copy it. Increase the width to about 8 pixels. Let's just move it back into position so it's covering up the original line. Command Shift comma will zoom out. The build inspector, move. It wants to move 90 degrees to the right. We're going to move that so it actually moves 180 degrees down. Make sure it moves right out of the frame. And then last but not least, zoom back in, Command Shift full stop. We'll just make sure that that's also black so it's invisible. Build inspector, stroke, and then the color black. Great, so if we play full screen, that line grows, that line grows. Lastly, if we go back to our build inspector, go to more options. These two builds happen on clicks. Let's make the second build happen automatically with the first build, and let's just make it 2 seconds long. Let's try that full screen. So the second build is happening slower. We want them both to be 2 seconds long. Let's just see why that's happening. Okay, so make sure that in the build order, build 1 is also 2 seconds long. Press play full screen. And that looks much better. Let's just throw in some text here. In fact, I'll tell you what, let's just copy it from down here. I'm going to copy my text boxes, but also my white lines, my black lines, and you'll also see here in the build inspector, it's copying these 2 builds, these lines which are moving. So I'm just going to highlight all of this, press Command C, go back to my original slide, Command V. You'll see that these 2 builds are also pasted into my original slide. Let's play full screen. So we've got the top 2 builds happening first, then the underlining of text, and the underlining again. So that's how to make animated lines, which is not as easy as you might think. The options are not inside the build in and build out options, so you have to just think a little bit outside the box. But yeah, it's a neat effect just to animate your slides.